So hello everyone, I wanted to come make this video today. I thought I'd make it because it's fall, it's beautiful, and I know when I purchased my Ventrac, one of the hard problems I had was deciding what options you needed and what attachments, and one of the difficult ones was the blower. And there's two different model blowers. There's the turbine one, and there's the littler, more flexible one, and that's the one I ended up on. But I still didn't really know what I was going to do, how it was going to work, and how effective it would be. We're kind of hoping it was going to be good. So that's where I landed, and so I thought I'd just kind of show you if you haven't seen it run, or maybe see it run in real terms here. I'm going to show you how it runs in real terms. And I'll do it in real time, so it we won't have won't be breaks, it won't be set up. It's just kind of sort of me filming this thing. I'm kind of holding my bigger monitor in one hand, so if running a Ventrac with the one hand disabled makes you a little bit slower at it, but it'll still give you a good idea at what we're going to get out of it, and how kind of spoiler alert, how easy leaves on your road is. I maintain on my property and various roads to my shop and barn about 3,700 foot, maybe 4,000 feet of gravel road. And come fall and leaves, it's pretty challenging, especially to grade the road full of leaves. And so we're going to get it knocked out here. We're going to jump into this thing, crank it up. It'll be a little noisy, but hopefully I'll talk a little louder and you can hear me over it and kind of see what it's doing. And I've got the hydraulic one that goes side to side. You'll see that I can kind of go up and down with the SDLA lever down here on the right and aim it, and then the chute's tapered down a little bit, and then you have your hydraulic lever left and right that allows me to fan the middle of the road and clean it, and then come back and do each side of the road. And keeping that hood down a little bit actually dips into the ditches and pushes it not only over to the ditches, but then out of the ditches and up on banks. So as we move forward, you'll see it, and let's just let the camera do the talking here, because that's probably the best way about it here. You can probably see the leaves behind me, and if I flip the camera around, you can kind of see a little bit, and this is even with a little road traffic. So let's get going and see what we can get fired up. So at this point, I'm going to speed it up a little bit, take a break, and let you know. In a minute, you'll see I found a rock in the, or I got a rock in the front rotating mechanism there. It was kind of hanging up and giving me a problem, but eventually it came loose, and I kept on going, and still doing the job. It just kind of fiddled me up there for a minute. You can see I'm playing with it. At this point, the rock's in there, but it's still coming out. I mean, it's still out of the way. You should probably stop and get it out. Sometimes if you drop it down too low in the gravel and dig it in, or especially backing up, it'll pull a rock up in there, and they'll occasionally catch up on the head of the hydraulic cylinder. Not a big deal, but it happens. When you get into a wide part of the road like this, a lot of times, you just blow down the middle first, and then I'll stop and make several passes backwards and forwards, and Really try to blow straight out the side or even angled backwards when I'm going backwards, and it really pushes the leaves across. And you'll clean up a wide section in the road. The Ys in the road you'll see a little bit later. They're always a little bit troublesome. When you come to them, you kind of blow in one way or the other. You blow into the one Y, and then when you're cleaning up the next one, you'll blow some back, and you'll have to go touch it up. But for the most part, it does a good job getting that cleaned up. And we're pretty dry and dusty right now, which is you don't want the leaves really wet. They stick too hard. It'll just slightly damp might help a little bit to hold the dust down. But it moves a lot. Dust doesn't bother you a whole terrible lot. And neat part is it does push them leaves all the way across your ditches, and it'll get them up on the banks. A lot of times I'll do it when I know there's rain coming in the next day or something like that without wind. That way the rain will kind of pat them down and start to beat them down into the woods, and makes less of it come back on your road the next time the wind blows. So you just get used to learning the best way to handle things, the best way to push them. Pushing downhill is always easier, and of course pushing into the wind is never a good thing, but you'll get used to it, and it really does a quick, good job. It's a winner for sure. This is a little technique of backing up. The chute to the right turns the greatest, so when you're backing up and you actually shoot to the rear, it'll really push the leaves, on up the hill further, all the way over the top in some cases, to try to get them off that bank so they don't blow back in your road so easy. So I kind of use that now and then to get, things cleaned up and get gives you an example right there. You can quickly, couple passes down the road. Sometimes I'll do it and pass down the middle and one on each side, depending on whether there's a bank or you're going uphill or downhill. But it sure gives you a quick change of getting the leaves off the road, pushing them up the hill. It'll actually push them out of the ditch. I kind of tried to show you it'll push them all the way up to the top of a bank. Hopefully the next rain will catch them and lock them down there. And what doesn't go down, you just go ahead and do some more and make another pass, and you can make pretty quick work of it. It'll outwork several men on pack blowers, and I've spent as much as half a day or more on a pack blower, and with this thing I've done it as quick as an hour and a half total. So far, I don't know how long I've gone here, 26 minutes, and stumbling around with the camera and all that, I've managed to clean a big part of the main road and the crossover road, and take me another hour total. Probably would be cleaned up nice, probably a half hour. So anyways, if you've wondered what it was or how it performed and how it could be used, I hope this helps you out. It's another one of Ventrac's really cool attachments that kind of makes it worthwhile, and why you buy these things and why they do what they do. I'm going to go finish up some more road and see what we can get cleaned up here to finish the rest of my main road. So do a little bit more video, and then we'll catch you on the next video. stop one more time here just to kind of show you. You can see that right there at the last, you could see it was actually digging out and vacuuming culverts almost and blowing it down into your drainage. Pushes it up on the hill here really good. Gets it up to the top of that hill so the rain can bring it, kind of pat it down in the woods. And in just that little bit of time, it pushes it well off the road. A couple, 3 passes, you can make 50-foot strip. And I really think the hydraulic steering is a big advantage, being able to push out in front of you as compared to that turbine version they got. You know, maybe in big open fields that would be good, but in a situation like this, I spend a lot of time hydraulically going side to side and booming, you know, kind of lifting the front lever up a little bit and then back down a little bit to push it up the hill, or push it off to the middle of the road so I can come back on a second pass. So I really think the average person would figure out that the little hydraulic one is far better for general maintenance, and especially if you got a lot of terrain, trees and ditches and hills and edges and roads where you got to work within the road and you can't really get completely off the road and push it with a turbine that only goes really sort of left and right, I believe. So overall, I give this little blower 100% for what I use it for, and make short work of, again, one more look at that, but that's short work of a pretty steep driveway, and that's a really steep driveway. Besides that, use the wind with you a little bit, use the downhill with you, but it'll push them uphill. When there's no place to go but uphill, it'll push them uphill. So again, I hope that helps, and I'll get this published. It is 39 minutes long. I'll probably try to cut a little bit of that out maybe, and some of it was just pushing leaves, or you can just jump forward in it. As you see, I'm just pushing leaves once you see what you're looking for and the kind of things it does. So anyways, take care. I'll bring you something next time I got something that's kind of worth showing. I'll hopefully share it on the channel here. Ventrac owners, talk to you soon.